Timeless Saga's intro greetings, Timeless Saga's fans. Today, we're diving into the life and times of a man who changed the way we perceive the world and our place in it. A man who braved treacherous seas, encountered exotic creatures, and ultimately formulated a theory that challenged the very fabric of society. That's right, we're talking about none other than Charles Darwin, the father of evolutionary biology. Now, imagine yourself in the early 19th century, an era of scientific curiosity and exploration. This is a time when people believed that the Earth was just a few thousand years old, and that all creatures were created as they were, never changing. But Charles Darwin, a young naturalist from England, was about to turn this idea on its head. Little did he know that his groundbreaking ideas would spark a scientific revolution and change the way we see ourselves and the world around us. Darwin was born on February 12, 1809, in Shrewsbury, England. He came from a wealthy family, and his father was a successful doctor. But young Charles wasn't exactly a model student. In fact, he was more interested in exploring the natural world than sitting in a classroom. He loved to collect insects, rocks, and other specimens, sparking an early fascination with nature that would last a lifetime. However, his father had other ideas, wanting him to follow in his footsteps and become a doctor. But after witnessing a gruesome surgery, Charles decided that medicine was not for him. Now, it's important to remember that Darwin wasn't the first person to think about how species change over time. In fact, his own grandfather, Erasmus Darwin, was a naturalist who wrote about the possibility of species evolving. However, it was Charles who would take these ideas further and develop a comprehensive theory that explained the mechanisms behind the process. But first, Darwin needed to gather evidence to support his ideas. And, oh boy, did he ever! In 1831, at the age of 22, Darwin set sail on a voyage that would change his life and reshape our understanding of the natural world. He joined the HMS Beagle as the ship's naturalist, a position that allowed him to explore the flora and fauna of distant lands. The Beagle's 5-year journey took Darwin around the world, from the rocky shores of the Galapagos Islands to the dense jungles of South America. Along the way, he collected thousands of specimens, meticulously documenting his observations in his notebooks. He encountered enormous tortoises, flightless birds, and countless other exotic creatures that most people in England could only dream of. But it was the finches of the Galapagos Islands that really caught Darwin's attention. You see, each island had its own unique species of finch, adapted to the specific challenges of its environment. Some had long, slender beaks for probing flowers, while others had thick, powerful beaks for cracking open seeds. Darwin realized that these birds must have evolved from a common ancestor, adapting to their environments over countless generations. This was a radical idea at the time, as many people believed that species were immutable, created by a divine power in their current forms. But Darwin's observations of the finches and other creatures he encountered on his voyage suggested otherwise. He began to develop a theory that would explain how species change over time, adapting to new environments and giving rise to new forms of life. Darwin returned to England in 1836, his head full of ideas and his ship packed with specimens. But he didn't just burst onto the scene with his theory of evolution. In fact, he spent years refining his ideas, conducting experiments, and gathering even more evidence to support his claims. He knew that his theory would be controversial, and he wanted to be sure he could back it up with solid proof. And so, in 1859, after more than 20 years of painstaking work, Darwin published his magnum opus, On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. Quite the mouthful, but let me break it down for you. In this groundbreaking book, Darwin presented his theory of evolution by natural selection, which explained how species change over time and give rise to new forms of life. At the heart of Darwin's theory is the idea of natural selection, a process by which organisms with traits that are better suited to their environments are more likely to survive and reproduce. Over many generations, these advantageous traits become more common in the population, leading to the evolution of new species. Imagine a group of giraffes, for example. Those with longer necks can reach more leaves and are more likely to survive and pass on their genes. Over time, the giraffe population evolves to have longer necks overall. And voila! You've got yourself some natural selection in action. Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection was nothing short of revolutionary. It challenged the prevailing belief in divine creation and provided a naturalistic explanation for the diversity of life on Earth. But, as you might expect, it also stirred up quite a bit of controversy. Many people were shocked and even outraged by Darwin's ideas, which seemed to undermine the very foundations of their religious and social beliefs. However, over time, the weight of evidence supporting Darwin's theory only grew stronger, and the scientific community eventually embraced evolution as the cornerstone of modern biology. In the years since Darwin's death in 1882, his ideas have continued to shape our understanding of the natural world. From medicine to agriculture, the principles of evolution by natural selection have had a profound impact on virtually every aspect of human life. And, despite the ongoing debate over the finer points of Darwin's theory, there's no denying that his work has left an indelible mark on the fabric of human history. So, there you have it, folks. The story of Charles Darwin, a man who dared to challenge the status quo and forever changed the way we view ourselves and the world around us. From his humble beginnings in England to his epic voyage on the Beagle, Darwin's life was a testament to the power of curiosity and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. And his timeless saga serves as a reminder that, sometimes, the most revolutionary ideas are the ones that force us to question our most deeply held beliefs. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more timeless sagas. And, as always, stay curious, my friends. Timeless Saga's outro.